India for you in one word.
3 words: people, pollution, and sound. That's India. That's not Vrindavan, which is Krishna, or Puri, which is Jagannath. So the pilgrimage places would have other words.
Okay, all right. How do you identify yourself now? Who are you?
I'm trying to be a servant of God, of Krishna, to be specific. Krishna in Vrindavan, to be specific. But that's a very clunky introduction. So I say I'm a Hindu, or I'm a Vaishnav, or I'm a Gaudiya Vaishnav, to be more specific. Or sometimes I say I'm an Irish Catholic Hindu. And they're all relevant identities. So I wear them lightly. But in myself, my identity is I'm trying to be Krishna's devotee. And I'm acting like that as best I can.
What are the 3 principles, or you can choose the number, from Hinduism, let's say, or from your learning, that you live by and have helped your life?
Well, the idea of Samadarshana, seeing everyone equally, the idea of Priti, of love, trying to be compassionate to others, trying to be thoughtful, tolerant, and kind, and the idea of humility, the idea of the courage it takes to do the right thing in a difficult circumstance, trying to practice that.
That's a very important thing you said. Right thing to do at a very difficult dharm sankat.
It's difficult to, sometimes your choice can mean you lose your job because you're not willing to do something.
Would you still do it, and what will make you do it?
No, I wouldn't do it, that's my point. And humility is the courage it takes. So we think of humility as meekness and being mild and everything, but Arjuna's humility was to fight a battle, which was quite the contrary. So humility is a very deep subject, and it's about a very soft courage that's more powerful than military.
What is the relevance of Hindu studies in the world today, and if we don't do it, what is going to be lost?
If we don't do it, Indian heritage will be lost, but also, maybe more importantly, the capacity for that heritage to be shared globally and really create a global intellectual dialogue so that we can look at the issues of the day, of identity, of the environment, of war and peace from a global perspective, and really get into what these issues are and how we can approach them much more holistically. At the moment, everything is about either or. Can they be about both and? Just add these other dimensions. I think if that's lost, that's a real loss to the planet. And India, I think, really has a responsibility to revive itself, wake itself up to be a global player, not just in terms of politics and economics and technology, but on a much more profound level.
And how could they do that?
Education is the key. And that's why I dedicated myself to education and developing this center as the beginning of a process. I mean, I would love to see this center help centers like this develop in India, in America, in Australasia, but particularly in India, that we develop other centers for Hindu studies that become centers of global excellence in Hindu studies, not just Indian excellence, global excellence, that they're on par with Oxford and Harvard and all these other places.
What is it about Hinduism that the Western mind or the world misunderstands and can't get?
Nearly everything at the moment. It's such a different way of thinking that India has started to think in a Western way, but intrinsically it doesn't think like that. The West doesn't get pluralism. The West doesn't get ahimsa. It doesn't get the idea that how profound the issue of non-harming is in terms of our everyday practice. It doesn't get the idea of Atma, the difference between matter and spirit, that there is a spiritual energy and it is the essence of life. And then any living form has to be respected as being special and sacred. That hasn't permeated, and it's beginning to become smaller in India. And that's just sad to see. It's redeemable, but the education is going to be the process by which it's.
You mean to say India has started becoming westernized?
Oh, very much. I mean, everyone can see that. even how they produce films now are based on the kind of Hollywood formula. How people speak with each other, the vocabulary they use. Everyone is learning about values and principles online, on TikTok, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Who's teaching them? Are they an acharya, one who teaches by example, or just a guy with a computer? That's very woolly. So India has become very westernized unconsciously and uncritically, and that's the worrying part. So it's losing its grip on its own identity. It's becoming just part of the bigger world. And I hope to think that it will militate against it and wake up.
What does it need to do? More education centers and study this?
It has to study itself seriously. It has to discuss itself more seriously. The media in India is just it's just about performance and facade and look at this. I think what's he doing? I don't know what he's doing. It's just speculation. Everything needs to get a little bit more thoughtful.
I get that. If you could meet a historical figure, it could be spiritual, of what you have studied, who would you like to meet and what would you like to ask?
I'd like to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Bengal, 15th century saint, and I would like to ask how I could serve him.
If someone in today's the children, if you want them to start on this journey, what is it that we could recommend for them to start with?
Start by reading the Ramayana, the Mahabharata. Particularly study the Gita, find a course, find a good teacher, and really look at the Gita. It's like high school Indian philosophy and theology. And if they can get into the Bhagavad Purana, that would be a university level.
To the Indians today, if you had any message to give from this platform, what would that be?
Begin to understand your heritage. Stop disowning it. Stop saying that it's not worthy, that it's uninteresting. These are very ignorant statements from people who haven't studied them, who haven't read them, who haven't looked at them. Why would we say that? Who ditches their own heritage? No, look at it for what it is. Study it, read it. Even superficially, you'll get benefit from it. But don't reject it without having first studied it. Please take it seriously.
There are such good examples of strong women goddesses in India. Yet we see dowry, we see suppression. While in the Western concept, you don't have any strong women like that, and yet you see empowerment. Why?
It depends where you go in India as to where you see empowerment. I see empowerment when I go and eat with the Gujarati family, and the mother is without doubt the head of the family in the home. Outside, she gives all relevance to Prabhu, he's wearing the trousers and everything, but when push comes to shove, there's patriarchy and there's matriarchy in India. So it's not simple. I think the jati system is discredited, of how people want to promote family through a patriarchal lineage. I think that's a silly system. It's not necessarily even an Indian system. I think that has to be questioned. The whole dowry thing is just about money, it's about nothing else. These have to be questioned intelligently. If people say that they're religious, prove it. Show me in the scripture. And I think we can have a proper discussion about it.
Another discussion would be due, otherwise we'll keep going on.
Okay.
But let's do this.
There you go.
Thank you so very much.